present state, okay? I got in and I'm like, wait, why am I not happy? Like there's something missing. I'm supposed to be happy, I'm supposed to be celebrating, I'm supposed to be telling my family, but I didn't tell them, right? I told them when I dropped out from the university that look, I got into the iron program, but for some reason, something in my heart just feel like it's missing. Like there was a missing puzzle, right? Something just doesn't feel right. And I think that my whole entire life, I've always taken care of you guys and making money and trying to find the career that will work for you guys, making most money for you guys. But at the end of the day, I'm not happy, right? So I'm gonna drop off of college and I'm gonna figure out what I want to do. And that's when my parents are so they were so upset at me. They weren't happy for like 2 months. Like 2 months straight, they didn't want to talk to me. You know, they kept complaining how I'm a failure in my family, I'm the oldest, I'm supposed to set a good example, all of that stuff that older sibling would get lectured, right? And then I'm just like, you know what, it's fine. I believe in God, and I truly believe that He will redirect me, okay, to the right path that is meant for me. And 2 months down the road, okay, all of a sudden I had like a really, really random girl just message me. And I've never seen any Hmong girls do anything like this before, like posting, traveling, transforming their life. And I'm like, you know what? Let me answer her. And as soon as I answer her, she just sent me a voice recording and she was just so happy and excited. And I'm just like, I don't even know this girl. That's kind of weird. I'm just gonna leave her on scene, right? And then a week down the road, that's when I actually, you know, had a dream. I had a vision that I was actually in this industry, and I started making 20K in a month, right? I'm like, you know what? I don't even know this girl. Why did I have that vision? Why did I have that dream? You know, and that's when I believe that there's a higher calling for me, and that I need to reach out, right? And I truly believe that every one of you guys are not in this room just because you wanted to be here. It's because you're meant to be in this room. You're meant to hear this opportunity, because this could be something that could change your life. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next month, but maybe in a couple months or to a year, right? And that's when I reach out back out to Savannah, okay? Savannah, can we all please clap for Savannah? Without her, I wouldn't be here, guys. Okay? So, yeah, so when I reach out back to her, I got into this opportunity, hop on a call with her. You know, you guys are very lucky. You guys are actually here to connect with us and ask this question, because I didn't get to do that with her. I was literally on Zoom with her only. And yeah, that's how it started. And I got into this industry knowing nothing, with zero prior experience. And I was so broke, guys. I remember like telling her like, hey, I dropped out of college. I'm working 9 to 5. I only have $200 in my bank account. I have cars payments stacking up. I have car insurance late. I have credit card like $10,000 that I couldn't even pay off. Like, what do you mean I could start with this? I'm already in my worst position. Where do I find the money to even get started to be in this industry? And one thing Savannah told me is, look, if you're in your worst position, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Like, you're either gonna find an opportunity and sacrifice and try it out, or you're either just gonna stay where you're at. I'm like, hey, no, I'm gonna try it out. So that's when I tried out this opportunity, and that's how it started, right? I went to my very first event, guys. It was actually in Las Vegas 2 years ago, okay? Not the one recently. I'm sure some of you guys are following me on social media, it's all that, but not the one recently. 2 years ago. And I remember going to that event just like you guys, and sat in the room just like you guys. But it was bigger, because we actually have more millionaires people in that room, okay? Not 4 or 5 like that are about to come right now. We have over 10 to 20 millionaires people from all around the world come to that event. And I remember that event was so expensive. It was like almost $300 just to go to the event. On top of that, pay for the flight. And I didn't have money. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what I'm gonna do. My husband, during that time, was my boyfriend. Super supportive, he helped me. My mentors helped me. You know, they really want to be in the room, me be in the room with minded people, millionaires to learn and elevate. So I'm like, okay, great, so go. When I got there, I remember, you know, being very close-minded, okay? I would sit in there and I'd be like, you know what? She or he's probably speaking up there because they come from a wealthy family, or, you know, it's probably a scam. They're just saying something that isn't true, you know? And I think one of the stories that really inspired me was one of the girls who went up there. She's, you know, started talking about how she's 16 and her parents are a gambler, or I think it was drug addict, one of those two, I forgot which one. But she ended up going to a foster home, okay? And she didn't want to live there, so she left the foster home. So she became homeless at 16. And at 16, she was living inside a car, and all she had was her cell phone. So she knew, okay, I don't have a home address. How the heck am I going to go apply for a job, right? So what she's going to do, Google, how do I make money online? That's all she did, right? And she found this opportunity. She didn't know it's real or not. She just gave it a shot, right? It doesn't hurt to give it a shot, so that's what she did. And it turned out to be perfectly fine for her. She started making a little bit of income, $5, $10, $20, and it started doubling up, right? And now she's making full time, and that's where she's able to move in to an apartment, make more money, and then use that money to find her mother. Found her mother. Now she's obviously an 8-figure earner, living, in a beautiful condo, traveling around the world, and starting her own industry now as well. And another guy was that he was on stage, and I remember he was telling his story how he went to jail, okay, defended himself, but accidentally killed someone. He can't defend himself, but still went to jail for 10 years. Came out, reputation is all ruined. He knew he can't get a job, can't go back to college, right? He thought that was the end of his life, so he was like, what's another way to make money? Started Googling online how to make money, right? Found this industry, and obviously he just went from there, and he became an 8-figure earner. Wrote a book about his whole entire life, super inspiring, and he went from there. And that's when I sat down there like you guys, and I'm like, you know what? I can't reach to those goals because I played the victim so much in my whole entire life. You guys heard all the things I went through earlier, right? The whole time, all those things that I went through with, taking care of my family, why is my family doesn't have money, why do I have to work hard, why do I have to provide? I was playing the victim. Like, do I have to keep doing that if I want to? Or I could change and make more than that. So I decided to make more than that, double my income, and do something very different. Instead of just staying at one job, which is a 9-to-5, because one income today is just not enough in this economy, right? Do you guys agree? Yes?
Yes.
Let me hear yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, guys, and that's really how my story started. And of course, from there on, I hit, full-time, and now I hit 6 figures. And I'm just very grateful that I'm here, and I'm very grateful that all of you guys are here, and you guys get to see this opportunity, because I promise you guys, when you guys leave this room, your mindset and the values that you guys learned today is going to completely shift your life, okay? So that's a little bit about that, but I do want to share a little bit about you guys as well, that towards the end, we will be doing a raffle. So I know a lot of you guys have raffle right now. Stay until the end. You guys do not want to miss this money prize, okay? And also, even if you guys don't have the raffle, we also still have prize that you can actually enter in. So make sure you stay until the end as well, because I will be having more amazing speakers after me as well. And this next person that I do want to bring up, okay? If you guys do have notebook with you guys, feel free to take notes, okay? Feel free to write your questions down so you guys get asked at the end. But this next person is someone who's very special to me. Without her, I wouldn't be here today, okay? And, she's very, very young, younger than me. And I'm a little shocked that she's actually the person who was mentoring me and coaching me. And, without her, like I said again, I wouldn't be here today. I have so much love for her as a sister, as a mentor. And she's someone you really want to, open, your mind and listen to the things that she's about to share with you guys at this very, very moment. So I'm going to go ahead and call her up here. Please welcome Savannah John, guys.
All right, guys. How are we all feeling? I feel like our energy is like a little low, right? So we're gonna go ahead and just fix that, okay? Because you guys don't understand how extremely lucky, what a privilege it is to be here, especially when you invested in only what, $30? Maybe 50 if you got a VIP, right? That's less than most people's gas. Am I right? In this economy, 2026. I don't know about you guys, but how much your car takes, but I know that it takes more than 60 now to fill up my gas, which is absolutely insane to me, right? But you're here today, you were able to get into this groove less than gas that is potentially actually able to provide you a system a duplicatable blueprint for you to also be able to duplicate for yourself, right? So that you can be able to earn an income that is a fortune, right? And that's a choice. If you're someone who's simply just looking for a side hustle, maybe, 200 to 300 a week, that's totally fine as well. But for some people, they actually think bigger. They want bigger, right? And they actually want to build something that's a lot bigger for themselves, but also for maybe their family, their kids, right? And that's exactly what we're going to be getting into today, right? So yes, you invested in 30, yes, you invested in 50, yeah. But the key thing to take away from here is you're able to make so much more in return, right? It can be just like Shay, it can be 6 figures a month, but it was not easy. This isn't for us to say that this is something that's so easy. It's hard. And you guys are probably like, hard? Stop, what do you mean? Like I came from your TikTok video, you said, I'm able to do this online, right? Well, yes, but is your 9 to 5 hard? Right? Is waking up every single day in the morning hard? Is going to your 9 to 5, clocking in, clocking out, and then receiving a check, not even the week after, but 2 weeks after, not even being able to feel as though you can't provide and support your loved ones, your kids, right? Your parents, whoever you're supporting. That's hard. That's really, really freaking hard. I don't know about you guys, but I hated that feeling so much. I still remember that feeling. During the COVID pandemic, the worst year of, honestly, in my life, me and my family got evicted, right, out of our homes, and I mean, I was a, 50, 60-year-old girl, like, I could do anything, and I remember, hearing conversations, from my parents speaking about, oh my goodness, like, what are we going to be doing, right, and that sinking feeling you feel when someone you really truly love is at the pit struggling and there's no power for you to be able to have, right? Have you guys ever experienced that kind of feeling? And I hated that. I never wanted to feel that again. I didn't care what I had to do or what it took for me to be able to not be in that position and position myself in a better position so that I don't end up being like that again, right? And that's exactly what I did. I found a vehicle to be able to take me to where I wanted to obviously go. But I've always been a dreamer. I've always been someone who wanted so much more. Even at the time, I didn't know exactly what it is or even what it was, what can take me there, right? So basically the moral of it is, what heart do you want, right? Because here, and it's very rude that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in just a minute, is going to be something that, yes, you're going to put in work. Yes, you're going to put in time. You're probably going to have to put in hours if you want a higher level of success. It makes no sense if you want a higher level of success, if you want luxury, if you want time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. It makes no sense for you to want that, but you don't want to put the work. You want more than the average person's salary, but you don't want to work harder than them. You're just not deserving. If I'm being truthful, right? It just does not make sense. You have to be that individual to actually want to put in the work, to actually be serious, because it's serious. It's so serious. We are not promised tomorrow. There is not, something telling you, you're for sure going to be here tomorrow, okay? Like, you're for sure. Anything can happen in life. And nowadays, people feel too comfortable thinking that they're gonna have tomorrow, that they're gonna have next year, and then next year, they write their resolutions. Have you guys ever been to the gym the first day of the year?
Stay tuned.
Every
The
single
best
time
opportunity
I'm
will
at the
come
gym,
for
the
part
first
2.
day
I will be
of
right
the
back.
year, you guys,
Thank
it's
you.
packed.